Hello guys, my name is Sudhanshu Kapoor. I am your instructor. So today we talk about VNet peering. Okay, we can see how we can connect two VNet. Okay, how we can peer two VNets. Okay, in Azure. Okay, so let's start the topic, guys. So first we talk about the theory. So as we can see that if we're talking about the VNet to VNet pairing in Azure, so Azure supports two types of pairing. Okay, so like if you want to connect two virtual networks, okay, with each other, so we can use peering concept. Okay, in Azure we have two types of pairing. One is VNet pairing within same Azure regions. Okay, like you already know that we have different kind of Azure regions. Like you have total we have approximately 54 regions. Okay, so in Azure provide their services in 54 regions. Okay, so right now we have two types of VNet pairing. So number one is, okay, VNet pairing within same Azure region. Same Azure regions means, like, imagine I have two VNets, like this is my VNet 1 and we have a VNet 2 also. Okay, this is the two VNets, you can say that. Okay, so this is VNet 1 and I have another VNet name VNet 2. VNet means virtual networks. Okay, so like what so what is the meaning of VNet pairing within same region? Means like this VNet I'm creating this VNet in East US location. Okay, I use location is East US. Okay, and I create this VNet also the same location East US. It means that my both the VNets are in same location, and I'm going to pair these two, and I'm going to create pairing in these two VNets. Okay, that is known as VNet pairing within same regions. Okay, VNet pairing in different regions means that, like, imagine this VNet is in East US. Okay, and this VNet is in, you can say that this VNet I can create in Central India location. Central India location. Okay, so like this. Okay, so now we have VNets in different locations, and I can going to create the peering between two VNets. So we can use VNet peering in different locations. So that VNet peering is known as global peering. Okay, that VNet peering is known as global peering. Okay, so we can use global peering as well as we can use simple VNet peering in within same. If I need to peer VNets in same region, so we can use VNet peering. If I want to connect two VNets in different locations, we can go for global peering. Okay, so that's it. We need to understand is, now what is the advantage of VNet peering is, first is network traffic between between paired network is private. Okay, so you can say that, like, if I paired these two networks, okay, if I start do paired in between these two networks. Okay, now when we can send anything through VNet 1 to VNet 2. Okay, and when I send or receive any resources between VNet 2 to VNet 1. Okay, so it uses the private IP addresses. It not uses the public IP addresses in that case. Okay, low latency, they provide you low latency. Latency means that, like, if you have like, there is no delay, you can say that. Okay, your network is totally fast, there is no delay between sharing and sending and receiving the resources or data. Okay, we can use high bandwidth connection also. They provide you high bandwidth connection, means that, like, it depends on the VMs. Like we already discussed about, we have two types of VM, basic and standard. So if I'm using basic VM, so basic VM has low bandwidth connection as compared to standard VMs. Okay, so it totally based on your VMs, that which VM bandwidth you're using. Okay, which VM types you're using in your VNet. Okay, now after that we have a ability to communicate. So it gives you the ability to communicate, like that. If I imagine that if I'm over there, I have VM1. Okay, right now you can say that in VNet 1 I create one VM name is VM1 over there. Okay, and in VNet 2 I can create a VM is VM2 over there. So I'm able to access these two VMs with the help of VNet pairing. Okay, with the help of VM1 I'm able to access VM2, and with the help of VM2 I'm able to access VM1. Okay, in both the in both sending or receiving. Okay, now transfer data across the Azure regions. I already told you that if you have different VNets in different regions. Okay, so with the help of global peering we can connect the VNets, okay, in different locations, and then we can access the data. We can send or receive the data between between the Azure regions as well. Okay, now the number sixth point is very important. Try to understand this point. Okay, this is a very important point. You can say that. So I told you that the traffic generates between peered VNet is traveled through Microsoft backbone infrastructure. It means that if, like, imagine now we have two VNets, okay, and I can peer these two VNets now. It's peered, you can say that. Okay, so when I'm sending and receiving any data, when I send any data between these two VNets, and I'm sent and receiving any data between these two VNets, okay, it goes through Microsoft own network, Microsoft infra, you can say that. It uses Microsoft networks. Okay, it's not using internet over there. Okay, it uses private network and it uses Microsoft built networks. Okay, and the last thing is known as peering is not transitive. Now, what is the meaning of not transitive? Means that what is the meaning of transitive in that case? Now, if I tell you the transitive means, like, imagine we have three VNets. Like, imagine we have three VNets. This is my VNet 1. Then after that we have a VNet 2, and then VNet 2, and then we have a VNet 3. Okay, so now we have three VNets. Okay, now what I do, I peer my VNet 1 to VNet 2. Okay, it's pairing. I paired these two VNets with each other. Okay, and I paired this VNet 2 to VNet 3 also. Okay, so if my pairing is transitive, so I don't want to pair VNet 2 to VNet 3 to VNet 1. It's automatically paired. Okay, if my pairing is running in transitive. Okay, so by default, so as I can tell you that pairing is not transitive. It means that if VNet 1 is paired to VNet 2 and VNet 2 to pair to VNet 3, so still I'm able to pair VNet 3 to VNet 1 as well. Okay, it's not paired automatically. We need to pair manually. VNet 3 to VNet 1. If I want to send some data through VNet 3 to VNet 1, okay, so it should be paired. Okay, so it means that the pairing is not transitive. Not transitive means it's not created. It's not pairing is not created between VNet 3 to VNet 1 automatically. We need to create manually. Okay, so this is the theory part. You can say that. Okay, now I'll showing you one diagram also. Like, you can see that like this. Now understand the things that, like, if you create VNet 1, okay, you can use private networks. Like, imagine that over there I can use 10.0.0.1, okay, one IP address. Okay, in my VNet 1 I can use this IP address, and in my VNet 2 I can use this IP address. Okay, 10.1.0.1. Be sure that every VNet has a unique network. Okay, and you can use private addresses over there also. So over there I can use this, or over there I can use this also. Like, if you want to use 192 series, we can go for 192.168.1.0/16 also. Okay, or you can use 10.1.0.0/16, or you can use 10.2.0.0/16. Okay, so you can use like this. Okay, but I am not able to use this same network in VNet 2 as well. Okay, both the VNet has a different networks, or unique networks. Remember this. Okay, and then after that, what I do in VNet, once I create VNets, I'm creating VNet in VNet 1 I'm create VM1, and in VNet 2 I'm create VM2, and after that I'm going to connect these two VMs with the help of VNet pairing. Okay, so when I you can see that when I pair these two networks, these two VNets, okay, so my VMs is automatically connected with each other. Okay, so I'll showing you this the practical now. Okay, so let's go to the practical now. Okay, so let's start the practical. So this is my, I'm sorry, I just need to log in with my Azure portal first. So this is my Azure portal, as you can see that. Okay, so I just check everything is fine. So I just first go to okay, so first we can start with the creating virtual networks. Okay, so first I need to check whether everything is cleared. Okay, so I go to my VNet 1. First I need to go to virtual networks. Okay, so now I'm going to create virtual network first. So I just simply click on add. Okay, okay, sometime it takes time because it happens to your internet connection, so sometimes it's slow. Okay, so now they're asking you the resource group. Now I'm going to create a virtual network. So this is my so they ask me to create, if you want to create a resource group also. So I'm creating a new resource group, call vnet-rg. Okay, this is the resource groups, vnet-rg. Okay, so my resource group name is vnet-rg. I can create everything in this resource group. Okay, now I need to give the vnet name. So this is my vnet1, so I go for vnet1. Okay, and I create this vnet in East US location. Okay, you can create any location. Okay, in my case I'm using East US location. Okay, click on next. IP address, so it's, you can see that it's automatically taking 10.0.0.16 IP address /16 bits. Okay, you can change the IP address also. You can remove this and you can change it. Okay, and it takes in the subnet mask automatically 10.0.0/24. So I'm okay with it. Just simply click on next. Okay, okay, so my firewall is disabled and DDoS protection is on. It's okay. Now click on next again. Now I need to give the tags. So click on name, and it is for vnet. Okay, so these tags is for searching. If you want to search anything, so we can use this tag to search my virtual network. Okay, so now it's checking the final validation. If everything is fine, you can see that the validation passed. It means that everything is fine, every information is correct. Now click on create. So I'm going to, now it's going to create virtual network 1. Okay, so as you can see that your deployment is completed. It means my vnet1 is created. So I click on home, and I click on virtual networks again. So as you can see that my vnet1 is created. Okay, similarly I go create vnet2, the same. Okay, I go click on add. Okay, I choose the same resource group, vnet-rg. I save vnet2 in this resource group. Okay, and I can use the name. So I use name vnet2. Okay, give the name. I go for same location. Okay, so we can see this spectacle. Okay, in this series, in this video, I can showing you the spectacle. Okay, vnet peering with same as your reasons. Okay, in upcoming lectures I can show a global peering also. Okay, so now we can say that I give the name. Okay, simple click on next now. So as you can see that it takes the different network 10.1.0.0. Previously it takes 10.0.0./16. Now it take in this, for this vnet it takes 10.1.0.0/16. Okay, and it's automatically create the subnet also 10.1.0.0/24. It's okay. Click on security. If you want to change it, you just click on delete and you can give the name, give the IP address you want. Okay, now click on next. For security, firewall is disabled and DDoS protection is on. It's okay. Click on next again, and again I need to give the, it's not mandatory to give the tags. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, it's not mandatory to give the tags. Okay, you can skip this option also. Now running final validation pass. Click on create. Okay, so as you can see that now it's going to create vnet2 as well. Okay. Okay, so as you can see that the vnet2 is also created. Okay, so I just simply click on home and I go to virtual networks again. So you can see that I just click on refresh once. They're showing me over there also. You can see that vnet1 and vnet2, which is created. Both the virtual networks is created successfully. Now what I need to do? Now I'm going to create two virtual machines. Okay, first I create a virtual machine 1. I connect virtual machine 1 to my vnet1, and I can create another virtual machine, and I just connect that virtual machine to vnet2. Okay, so how we can do, you can see that, just go for virtual machines now. Okay, now I'm going to click on add. I'm going to create a virtual machine now. Okay, I put the virtual machine on same resource group, which where I can put my vnets. Okay, now I go to give the virtual machine name. So this time I go for Windows Server 1. This is my virtual machine name is Windows Server 1. Okay, this is the first virtual machine I'm going to create. Okay, and I am creating 2016 server virtual machine. Okay, you can create client virtual machine as well. It's not mandatory that you can go for create a virtual machine for servers. Okay, and I can choose the location. So I use East US over there. Okay, you can create any location anywhere in the location. Okay, so it's taking automatically the hard disk. Okay, now need to change the hard disk. It's go for only, not this one, I use this one. okay, the standard 2. Okay, I go for 2 virtual machines, 8 GB of RAM and 4 hard disks attached over there, so I can use this size. Now I need to go to give the username and password. So with the help of this username and password, I'm logging in my virtual machines. Okay, and I'm using the port RDP. Okay, through RDP I'm able to access my virtual machines. Now click on next. Now I'm using premium SSD disk. Click on next again. Okay, now this machine I want to connect with my VNet 1. Okay, so the Windows Server 1 machine, it's connected with my VNet 1. Okay, it takes 10.0.0/24. Okay, range of IP address. Okay, now simply click on next. Now I don't want anything in manage, so I go for default. I just switch off the monitoring. Click on next. Click on next. Need to give the tag. So I give the tags his name, and this is for Windows. Okay. Click on next. So everything is fine. So this checks the final validation. If everything is fine, it's going me to create the virtual machine. So click on create. Okay. Now as you can see that the virtual machine is going to create. Okay, as you can see that, it's going to create now. Okay, so as you can see that my first virtual machine is created. If I click on virtual machines, so I just click on refresh once. So as you can see that Windows Server 1 virtual machine is created, it is running, and it's connect with VNet 1. Okay, now I'm going to create another virtual machine. Okay, I save this virtual machine in same the resource group vnets-rg. Now I need to give the virtual machine name, so it's Windows Server 2. Okay, and I put this virtual machine in the same location. It's in East US. Okay, and I'm going to install 2016 server again. Okay, and it takes automatically to the size of standard DS1 version 2. Okay, so I need to give the username and password again. Okay, so I give username and password to access for access this virtual machine, and I allow only RDP protocol. With the help of RDP protocol, I can access this virtual machine. Okay, now disk I using premium SSD. In network, you can see that I connect this virtual machine with VNet 2. Okay, and it takes 10.1.0.0 IP address automatically. Series in this series it takes the IP address. Okay, and now click on next. Now in management I use by default. Okay, you need to give the tags. Click on next. Now if everything is fine, they're showing me that the validation passed. You can see that the validation passed. Click on create. Now I'm going to create my second virtual machine. Okay, so as you can see that my deployment is complete. So I just check, I go to my virtual machines. Okay, as you can see that my Windows Server 2 virtual machine is created now. Okay, so I'll showing you the diagram once again. So what I do, I create VNet 1, I connect Windows Server 1 virtual machine to VNet 1 and Windows Server 2 virtual machine to VNet 2. Okay, and I create VNet 1 in East US location and the VNet 2 also in East US location. I'm using VNet 1 IP address 10.0.0/16 and VNet 2 I'm using 10.1.0.0/16. Okay, now now next step is I'm going to peer my both the VNets. Okay, so how we can do peering, you see that. Okay, so once for peering, first I need to go to my virtual networks. Okay, I can choose first VNet 1. Okay, over there on the left hand side we have peering option. Just click on the peering. Okay, and click on add peering. Okay, they ask you name of the peering from VNet 1 to remote virtual. Okay, so I go for name. I go for VNet 1 to VNet 2. Okay, I connect VNet 1 to VNet 2 now. Okay, and the network I'm using is VNet 2. Okay, because right now I'm in VNet 1, so I tell that okay, I need to connect with my VNet 2. Okay, so this is the first configuration I can use. Now they ask me the second one, VNet 2 to VNet 1. So this is for VNet 2 to VNet 1. Okay, and this also I'm going to create VNet to VNet 1 also. Okay, so I'm getting both the connections. Okay, VNet 1 to VNet 2 and VNet 2 to VNet 1, both the directions. Okay, and I'm enable allow virtual network access from VNet 1 to VNet 2. It's enabled, and allow virtual network access from VNet 1 to VNet 2 to VNet 1. It's enabled. So both the sides traffic are sending or receiving the packets. Okay, I'm able to sending or receiving the packets in both the sites. Okay, allow forward traffic from VNet 1 to VNet 2. So yes, I want to enable it. 2 to 1. I allow forward traffic between 2 to 1 also and 1 to 2 also. Okay, fine. And now click on OK. So as you can see that it's creating. It's you can say that peer the VNet 1 and VNet 2 now on both sides, VNet 1 to VNet 2 also, and VNet 2 to VNet 1 also. Okay, so you can see that it's paired. So you can see that, you can check it once. You can see that right now I'm in VNet 1, okay, and it's paired with VNet 2. Okay, and if I go to my VNet 2, okay, so if I click on pairing, so you can see that my VNet 2 is paired to VNet 1. Okay, and it's connected. So it means connected means your session or your pairing is successfully created. Okay, fine. If you can say that if you can peer only one direction, so they're showing you initiated only, initiated. Okay, if peering on both the sides, if you do peering on both the sides, then they're showing you connected. Okay, remember these things. Now everything is fine now. So now I'm going to my virtual machine, and we need to check once whether those virtual machines are able to communicate with the private IP addresses or not. Okay, so I just click on virtual machine now. I go to my Windows Server 1. Okay, and you can see that my Windows Server 1 virtual machine IP address is 10.0.0.1. Sorry, 10.0.0.4. Okay, so we can mention over there. So my virtual machine 1 IP address is 10.0.0.4. Okay, and if I go to my virtual machine 2, Windows Server 2 virtual machine, as you can see that the IP address is 10.1.0.4. Okay, so I go to just mention over there, this is 10.1.0.4, like this. Okay, so now we can test whether these two virtual machines are able to access or not. These two virtual machines are able to ping or not, because these two virtual machines working with different VNets. If it is peering, if peering is successful, so these two virtual machines are able to communicate with each other. Okay, so we can check out. Okay, so first I go to my virtual machine 1 and I download the RDP file. Okay, click on download RDP file. This is my Windows Server 1 RDP file. Okay, and I go to my Windows Server 2 virtual machine as well. Okay, click on connect RDP, and I'm going to download this virtual machine RDP file also. So first I need to connect with my virtual machine 1. Okay, so this is, I'm going to connect with my Windows Server 1 virtual machine. Okay, so you can see that I'm successfully take the remote of my Windows Server 1 virtual machine. It's going to take remote. You can see that. See, this is my virtual machine 1. Okay. Similarly, I can take remote to my virtual machine 2 as well. Windows Server 2 virtual machine. I need to give the password, username and password. So as you can see that Windows Server 1 virtual machine is successfully login. You can see that this is the Windows Server 1 virtual machine, and this is the Windows Server 2 virtual machine is also successfully logged on. Server 1 is logged on. Okay, I just close this Server Manager. I don't want to use Server Manager right now. Okay, and you can see that Server 2 is also login. Okay, so if I see virtual 1 machine, okay, if I see the IP address, I go to CMD. Right now I'm in Windows Server 1 virtual machine. I go to IP config. So as you can see that it connects with 10.0.0.4. It means this virtual machine connects with VNet 1. Okay, and I can check my Windows Server 2 virtual machine, which is going to log in. So as you can see that my Windows Server 2 virtual machine Windows Server 2 virtual machine is also login. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to first check the IP address of this virtual machine. I go to IP config. As you can see that I close this one now. Let's see. I go to IP config and enter, and you can see that it's running in 10.1.0.4. Okay, fine. Now I'm trying to ping with my virtual machine Windows Server 1. So the IP address is 10.0.0.4, and I hit on enter. So it's still not pinging. Now now it's not, why it's not pinging, because my firewall is on. Okay, so first I need to switch off my firewall on both the virtual machines. Okay, so I just run firewall command, firewall.cpl. It's a command to open firewall settings. So I turn off firewall, okay, in both the virtual machines, because firewall blocks your pinging. Okay, now I go to my Windows Server 1 now, and I just run the same command, firewall.cpl, okay, to open Windows firewall settings and turn off Windows firewall on both the machines. Okay, now you can see that right now I'm in Windows Server 1. Okay, and I'm going to ping with Windows Server 2 machine 1.0.0.4. okay, and if I enter it, so it's showing me reply. Okay, it means I'm able to access Windows Server 1 machine to Windows Server 2 machine. Okay, and you can see that if I go to Windows Server 2 and I'm trying to ping with my Windows Server 1 machine, okay, and you can see that it's showing me the same reply. Okay, so you can see that these two virtual machines are running different VNets, and still I'm able to access these two virtual machines, okay, with each other with the help of private networks. So that is what we have of VNet peering. Okay, so I hope you're able to understand this video. Okay, please like the video, please share this video with your friends. If you have any doubts, anything, please comment me. Okay, and thank you for watching, guys.